Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another video. I had this idea in mind for a while now, but I just never got around to actually doing it. But what I decided to do for this video is I'm going to be giving you, in my opinion, my top 10 most underrated bands that I've come across. Some of these you might know. You know, some of these bands have been around for a while. Some of these bands may be brand new to you. But I hope you guys end up checking these bands out. And without further ado, let's get started. I have them all written down here on my notebook. Right, number one, I'm going to start with a band that's actually from Germany that I just discovered recently thanks to people in the Rockin' with Robbie group. And that's the band called Surrender the Crown. Now, I don't know much about these guys, but I know they have a couple albums out, and their most recent album came out back in, I want to say either February or March of this year, and it's a really fantastic album. It's called The Never Ending Now. Like I said, they're just a really good rock band. I wouldn't consider them metal or anything. I think they're described as alternative metal, actually. There's no, from what I've heard of their music, there is no unclean vocals in really any of their songs, but the music, the instrumentation is very heavy, and the vocals are very gruff and gritty and very, they really stand out. And if I were to pick some songs from Surrender the Crown to listen to, it would definitely be The Never Ending Now, Out of This Alive, and Welcome to the Life You Chose. Those are all fantastic songs for me. Okay, number two is the band called Seasons After. Now, I think these guys have been around for a couple of years, maybe, but I just recently started getting into them for their latest album called Manifesto. And this is another rock band. I don't know if they're considered metalcore or just hard rock, but I really like Manifesto, their latest album. They just have this very underrated sound, you know. Instrumentation, vocals, the lyrics are really well constructed in my opinion. If I had to pick a couple of songs from Seasons After for you to check out, it would probably have to be the songs From the Edge and Fighter. Those are two of their best songs in my opinion. And number three, now this is going to be another German band. At least I think they're from Germany. I know that they're not from the U.S., but it's a band called Our Mirage. Now, what's interesting about this band is this is probably the newest band on this whole list, because everyone else has been around for at least a little bit of time, but these guys are very new. They only have 4 songs out. But they're really, really good. I definitely check out all 4 of them. I can, like Reviver is a good song, and My December. My December is probably my favorite song by Our Mirage. It's a great blend of clean and unclean. It's very gritty, just like Surrender the Crown. It's really good. You guys just have to take my word for it. And number 4 is a band that I've always thought was severely overlooked, and that is the band Emery. Now, Emery has been around since the early 2000s. They're a Christian metalcore type band. I don't know if you consider them metalcore, but I know about them, and I know that this is probably the most well-known band on this list. But just because they're well-known doesn't mean that everybody knows about them. Now, Emery does something really unique. They have back and forth vocals between two different vocalists. It's almost like they're playing off of each other, and that's a dynamic from Emery that I really have grown to love over the years. Definitely check out hits like the party song. I'm Not Here for Rage, I'm Here for Revenge. That's another really good one. And stuff like The Curse of Perfect Days. They have a lot of good ones, and it's a shame that they're not that well known, despite being around for almost 20 years. Okay, number 5 is the band Righteous Vendetta. Now, Righteous Vendetta is another Christian hard rock band. I've known about these guys for a couple of years now. They have an album out called Cursed. I think it came out last year. Or maybe, no, yeah, it was last year in 2017. It's a pretty good album. But I don't really know them for stuff like that. I'm more familiar with some of their older stuff like The Fire Inside and With Love, which are all really great songs. But what I do like about their latest album, Cursed, is how it feels different from stuff that they've done in the past. And what I mean is that it sounds more like they've found what kind of sound they were going for. And I think that it's going to stick with them very well in the future. But definitely check out songs like War is Killing Us All, Demons, Cursed, and those other two songs that I mentioned, The Fire Inside and With Love. Those are all tremendous songs. And number 6 is a band out of Japan called Coldrain. Now, Coldrain is a band that I've absolutely fallen in love with these last couple of months. In fact, if I were to do an updated top 10 favorite bands list, they would definitely be on that list. The thing is, this is another band that I've known about for a couple of years now, but I've only really started to get into their stuff this year, a couple of months ago. And they have a really great cover of an Alanis Morissette song called Uninvited, and that's the song that really got me hooked. And even though I'm not a huge fan of when bands put cover songs on original albums, Coldrain did an amazing job with that cover. They really made it unique and made it their own. So definitely go check that out. But like I said, they're from Japan, but they're really awesome. And definitely check out songs like Rest in Peace, Bury Me, You Lie, Colorblind, Stay. They have a lot of great stuff to offer. But definitely one of the more tamer bands, and what I mean by tamer is that the vocalist doesn't really have a gritty voice. It's more high-pitched, but it works well. It's an amazing band. And number 7 is the band Fades Away. This is another Christian band. Once again, it's a band I've known about for a couple of years now. They only have a couple of albums out, but to me their most well-known album came out back in 2011, 2012, and it was called Perceptions, which is a really good album. I think that's a very, very underrated album. This has a very unique sound, this band does. It almost sounds like the tuning of their guitars, and their whole instrumentation is a lot lower and kind of grungier than other bands. If I were to give you something to listen to, definitely check out their newest single. They just released a new single earlier last month called Sad State of Affairs. That's a really good song. They have a part 1 album coming out next month, I believe. I like these guys. Another vocalist that can be gruff when he wants to, but he also has kind of a high-pitched voice, just like the lead singer of Coldrain. But they're really good. And number 8 is a band called Under the Flood. Now, these guys have a couple albums under their belt. My favorite album by them is called The Witness. Really good album, just your standard rock band. But just because they're a standard rock band doesn't mean that they don't have anything to offer. I mean, check out songs like In Vain, The Witness, Open Me Up, The Bottom. They have a lot of great songs to offer. I don't know how long Under the Flood's been around, but I think they have at least 4 or 5 albums out. Okay, number 9 is the band Hands Like Houses. Now, you guys have probably heard me mention them a lot on this channel before, but Hands Like Houses is a really great Australian band. They have this... I can't even describe how good they are. You're just going to have to take my word for it and go check them out yourselves. Australia has been putting out a lot of great rock, metalcore bands lately. And Hands Like Houses is just your standard rock band. Good instrumentation, good vocals, and they have some of the catchiest, well thought out lyrics that I've ever heard from a band. Definitely check out songs like Perspectives and I Am, Motion Sickness, Wisteria, and Wait. Those are all fantastic songs. And number 10, my last band is going to be the Amity Affliction. Now, the Amity Affliction is another Australian band. Like I said, Australia just keeps putting out awesome band after awesome band after awesome band lately. But Amity Affliction is really great if you're going through a rough time with like depression and stuff like that. And these songs from Amity Affliction, they really hit home for me in a lot of ways. Songs like The Way Down, This Could Be Heartbreak, I Bring the Weather With Me, Pittsburgh, Don't Lean on Me, Nightmare, Tearing Me Apart. I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm missing. But those are the main hits. Those are the main ones that really showcase what the Amity Affliction can do. They're heavy, they're melodic, everything that you would want in a band. And well, that's going to do it, guys. Those are in my opinion, my top 10 most underrated bands. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Drop me a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.